What's up, YouTube? This is BB368 coming at you with a Lair of Darkness hand-controlled deck profile. I'm going to just say this now. I'm assuming that this deck, I have not play tested it. I will be on Wednesday, but this is just a fun deck idea that I came up with. The idea, again, like I said, it is a hand control based deck. It's all about getting information from your opponent's hand, being able to predict what they're going to do, or in dealing with it within a reasonable amount of time. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Obviously, you're going to play 3 Lilith. Effect basically is, when it's normal summoned, half its attack, but it has a quick effect, as you can read it right there, quick effect, that says you contribute a dark monster on the field, pick 3 normal trap cards from your deck, shuffle them up, your opponent picks one randomly, you get to play that onto the field automatically. And the nice thing with the wording of quick effect means that basically you can use this on your turn and your opponent's turn. So while Lair of Darkness is up on the field, turning all monsters dark, she is able to activate her effect if your opponent has a monster that you cannot deal with or don't want to deal with. Activate her effect, tribute that monster, set a trap. Probably can't use that trap that turn, but it's nice to be able to get rid of something and give yourself another back row to deal with them. Up next, then, we're going to have, obviously, triple ARIMA. Card effect is basically, I can discard this card, search out Lair of Darkness, so it's a Terraforming in hand. And also, you can either tribute a dark monster on the field, including itself to draw a card, or if you tribute a dark monster, not this card, I could search Darkest Diabolos, this guy, to my hand. So it's a nice searcher, nice way of gaining advantage as long as I have, again, Lair of Darkness to be able to tribute off my opponent's monsters. Next, obviously, we have Darkest Diabolos, which basically allows me to either special summon this card from hand or graveyard if I tribute a dark monster from one of my effects, or he himself, while he is on the field, I could tribute another dark monster to have your opponent send one card from their hand to the top or the bottom of their deck. So again, all formed around hand control. Then obviously we're playing 3 Stygian Street Patrol. It's always nice to have an extra special summon for any of my Fiend type monsters to be able to make an Exceeds play or just, advantage again. 2 Vanity's Fiend. It's an interesting card. I figured it would be a nice deck choice to, again, be able to stall out my opponent. Again, you mix that in with the Stygian Street Patrol, summon a monster, tribute off, then normal summon this to lock down on my opponent. Seems like it makes sense. Again, we'll see how it plays off on Wednesday. Then you're going to be going to the one-ofs of Tour Guide, Skarn, Armageddon Knight, Steam. Steam I actually like as a nice deck choice that I've been seeing as I was doing my research. Basically, when this card is in the graveyard, I can tribute a monster to special summon him. I can only use that once per duel. So it is a very interesting choice that, very interesting deck choice to, again, tribute off a monster, special summon him, activates the effect of Darkest Diabolos, summons out to the field, Diabolos, tribute, aim for their hand. You get the idea. Then, obviously, we're going to be having 1 Destruido. Again, it's another special summon fodder for Fiend. Then we go into the spells. Triple Lair of Darkness. For those who don't know, Lair of Darkness basically turns all monsters on the field dark, and basically allows me to be able to tribute any dark monsters on my opponent's side of the field so I can use it for my own effects. So again, you mix this in with Lilith, ARIMA, Darkest Diabolos, all your monsters basically become ammo for mine. Also, for the amount of monsters that were tributed, so let's say I had Lilith, you had a monster, I tribute off your monster for Lilith's effect. At the end phase, you basically get a token on the field for the amount of times that I tributed, or you tributed on your side. So also, again, adds tokens, adds protection, adds tribute fodder for Fiend. Then we go into Triple Lure Darkness. This has a lot of draw power. Kind of very surprised since coming back into the game that this is at 3. Here's my tech choice is Triple Drag Down to the Grave. The idea for this is, again, I get to see my opponent's hand, be able to predict what they're going to do. And normally when I'm going to be using this card is when I either have Diabolos or Skarn or Steam. Basically, since it is a Fiend deck, even Stygian Street Patrol. Basically, anything that I can gain advantage from being in my graveyard, completely fine with using this card with. So again, it's a deck idea. I figure triple of this will be very nice. Double Terraforming for deck thinning. Double Melody of Awakening Dragon. Basically can search out Diabolos. Honestly, I might cut it down to one since I'm only running 3 copies, but I figured the more copies I have of this, the better. And 1 Foolish Burial. Now we go into the traps, which basically, again, triple Mind Crush. I'm always basically 90% of the time going to see what my opponent's having in their hand. So Mind Crush whatever problem cards are going to come up that aren't going to affect me too much. Then double Eradicator, and then double Grinning Virus. That's basically the deck. Again, it's all about information from my opponent. I'm going to be 90% of the time knowing what my opponent's going to be doing, getting rid of any problem cards, especially spells and traps. I do not really have much of an extra deck and or side deck for this because, again, I'm just putting it together. This is just a fun deck to play with while I get familiarized with the Salamangreat. I just picked up the deck today, so I'm just getting familiar with that, seeing all the combo plays from that, and I'm just playing this for fun. But if you guys have any ideas for how this could maybe strengthen the deck a little bit for the idea of hand control, you can just leave a comment down below. Maybe send me a link to other ideas for what people did with this deck. But basically, that's my hand control Lair of Darkness deck. If you liked the video, just subscribe down at the bottom. And this is BB368 signing off.